all loose. You better check yours. That's crooked.
They're better than they were. Maybe two, I don't know. It's been a long time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, inside one of the great venues where you will ever be able to watch a volleyball game. This is Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. We are right here just off of home plate along the first base line for our first of 4 national championship matches for the 2025 NCVF National Championships in Phoenix. First and foremost, to kick off the festivities this evening is the national championship game for Women's Division II, an all-Texas affair, an all-Metro Dallas affair between the Texas Christian University TCU Horned Frogs and the Southern Methodist University SMU Mustangs. Presentations of the teams coming up right now.
We also remind you that the officials here tonight are men and women who have been selected on the basis of their expertise, fairness, and integrity. Please treat them with the respect they deserve. Thank you for your cooperation and support. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Women's Division II National Championship match. Competing from Fort Worth, Texas, please welcome the TCU Horned Frogs. And their opponents from Dallas, Texas, please welcome the SMU Mustangs.
Not the most coordinated entry handshake line of all time, but these two teams clearly know each other quite well. They were taking photos in the dugout earlier just before the warm-ups. Very special opportunity for these teams to get to play in such an incredible volleyball setup inside Chase Field, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. My name is Rob St. Clair. Welcome to Phoenix for the 2025 NCVF National Championships. Women's Division II National Championship game here. Division II denoting universities with less than 15,000 total enrollment. That is how you can qualify to be placed within Division II in the NCVF. These two teams not separated by much between Dallas and Fort Worth. SMU in blue, lining up on the far side of your screen. The TCU Horned Frogs in black on the near side of your screen. SMU's second trip to the national championship match in as many years. SMU made it to the national championship game last year in Kansas City, where they were beaten by the champion St. Thomas, but just earlier today, in the second round of the gold bracket, the quarterfinals, SMU got their revenge on St. Thomas, beating them 2-1 to advance to the semifinals, and here they are, the Mustangs. Not often do you get a chance to redeem a national title chance where you came up just short, but that is the case for the Mustangs here, and it's effectively a crosstown rival standing in their way. TCU getting set to serve on the near side of your screen. It'll be the setter, number 1, Jesse Huddleston. Tight pass immediately, SMU not able to rescue it, and the first point of the Division II National Championship match goes to the Horned Frogs. Jesse Huddleston starts the match at the setter position, picks up an ace there. Perfect reception this time to the lefty on the outside. That ball's picked up nicely. That is no lift called. This will be a swing chance for TCU. Perfectly put away in the deep cross-court corner. Audrey Baumer, number 15 in black. Puts TCU up 2-0 here early. See Sophia Reynolds on the SMU side, who can play both positions, setter and opposite, lining up to receive and attack right now. The lefty on the left side. Gets the fingertips off the swing there. The defense is underneath it. Another swing chance for Baumer. Tipped over and scores, and an excellent start with the TCU Horned Frogs. Bit of a rotation one situation here for SMU, where the outside hitter and the opposite switch on the wings. A couple balls in a row now have gone out to Reynolds. Another chance for Reynolds against two blockers, and she gets SMU on the board with the cross-court swing through the block and down. Last year when SMU played in the national championship match, they ran this sort of abbreviated 6-2 style of offense, with Reynolds attacking in the front court and setting when she's in the backcourt. So you can run a true 6-2 and using only half the substitutions. I assume that's what they're going to do again here. Run to the middle, pretty good looking choice, but that ball hit out of bounds by number 12, KK McNew in the middle. SMU 1 point closer. Ball handcuffs libero Hannah Vandergriff just a little bit. Pretty good chance for SMU in transition. Reynolds down the line, beautifully located. Very interesting, streaky volleyball so far. 1-3-0 run answered by another. Push to the outside. The defense is underneath it. SMU with a chance to take the lead. Cece Boswell is dug. Chased down by Baumer will produce an SMU free ball. Reynolds down the line again, twice in a row on the crossbody swing from the lefty. The Mustangs take the lead, go down 3-0 quick early. And answer right away. And now TCU having some issues siding out of rotation one on their side. Gone to the middle again, tipped over, well read and kept alive. To the outside to Baumer again, gets the fingertips picked up by libero Maddie Kaufman. Boswell tipped over the top, that ball is down. Pancake play not made. Both line judges all over that one. The SMU run continues. Jade Fritzinger, the outside hitter, number 8 in blue, doing some good work at the service line. Wow, beautiful blocking. Cece Boswell shuts down the line. Nowhere for Baumer to go. The run continues 6-0 on SMU's serve. Jade Fritzinger just keeping the ball in play, and TCU is struggling mightily right now to get out of rotation one. Good pass by Vandergriff. Run to the middle. That's an answer for the problems. KK McNew puts it away. Deep position 5. Audrey Baumer serving for the Horned Frogs. To Reynolds, a little far outside the antenna. She keeps it in play off the block cross court. Now a swing in transition, rolled down the line and dug. Reynolds again, this time against only one block. A really nice play by Vandergriff, but a bit of a miscommunication on the Horned Frogs side, and the ball falls. Good defensive effort by number 10 in white, Hannah Vandergriff, the Horned Frog libero. Now her counterpart, Maddie Kaufman, on the Mustang side, putting that ball in play down the line. Ooh, good looking swing there. Ryan Holly, number 14 in black, across her body, finds the line. Middle blocker Dynasty Coe into the front court for the first time for the Horned Frogs. As that ball served out of bounds. Now here is the 6-2 substitution pattern. Starting setter Anastasia Kuvshinova goes to the bench for the Mustangs. Simone Mitchell, number 1, into the front court at opposite. So Reynolds will now set, and she'll get a decent look here off the down ball chance. Push to the outside to Boswell, hammered cross court, and SMU keeps the run going. Jenna McNelly, number 4 in blue, into the front court for the first time these couple rotations for the Mustangs. 8-5 start, best 2 out of 3 sets here to decide the national championship in Women's Division II. Pie ball in the middle, Coe, the middle, takes a swing. Mitchell, the lefty on the right side. It's a good roll shot. Vandergriff is there, but can't control it. SMU's lead is 4. Somebody lost some kind of a hair tie or something, so we'll get that off the floor. Excuse me, 10-5 the score, not 9-5, so SMU doubling up TCU right now. And that swing, I believe, comes up short. That was not touched by the blockers. SMU's lead balloons to 6. Timeout TCU. Their first of 2 team timeouts in this first set. Well, it looked like an excellent start for the Horned Frogs, up 3-0 quickly. They have struggled to get offense going ever since then. Gotta wonder if it pays dividends for SMU so far that many of their players have been on this stage before. Played for a national championship last year. So they're familiar with the stage and they're hungry for redemption. Mentioned SMU losing to the University of St. Thomas out of Minnesota last year, but earlier today in gold bracket single elimination play, SMU got their retribution against St. Thomas in the quarterfinals. Sophia Reynolds at the service line. TCU got to put some offense together right about here. Holly on the left side, excellent defense. Fritzinger underneath it. It'll be a free ball though for the Horned Frogs. Coe slowed down really nicely in the middle. Terrific block touch. Now Boswell chopped down the line, just out of bounds. TCU catches a bit of a break. They get a needed side out, and now they will make a substitution, putting in Ella Drucker, number 17 in black, for Emily Sugg. Ooh, setter dump attempt thrown back by Coe. Reynolds now to Mitchell on the left side, who over-rotates a little bit. That ball into the antenna and out of bounds. Good blocking presence there by Coe, number 3 in black, to be prepared for the setter dump and throw it back. TCU takes advantage of the air. Good service pressure there from Drucker. Boswell just has to tip the ball over. Excellent chance here for TCU. Coe in the middle, slowed down. Good block touches by McNelly. That ball is inbounds. Kind of slapped upwards over the defense, and it falls inside the cross-court corner for SMU to get out of that rotation. Score 12-7. As we will take our time to clean up the floor whenever necessary. Looking for maybe some reinforcements as far as floor cleaning. Let's see what's going on over here. That the floor on the SMU side has the officials' attention right now. Mentioned it in the intro, this is one of the most unique possible settings you will ever get to play in or see a volleyball game. Chase Field, a baseball stadium, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, the site of this same national championship tournament 3 years ago in 2022. After the quick break, TCU now has a free ball chance. Coe in the middle. Excellent dig by Kaufman. Down the line, Vandergriff is there. Holly looks to terminate. No, not yet. That is back onto the TCU side. A little bit of confusion. And Fritzinger on the overpass swing, eventually able to terminate off the block and out of reach. Pretty good rally there, one of the longest of the match so far. Boswell working on Drucker, out of system set to the outside to Holly, and that ball is off the tape and down for a TCU kill. And now another substitution will come in. Nellie Brumley, number 4, the defensive specialist, in to play the back court for Holly, the outside hitter. beautiful block right there. Dynasty Co. will get credit for that one. Score 13-9. I think that's incorrect here on the scoreboard in the house. Pretty good dig down the line against the tip attempt of Fretzinger. SMU makes a defensive play of their own. Now Fretzinger again, slowed down by the block. Bomber on the outside, dug again. Fretzinger rolled, out of system swing from Bomber coming again. Boswell barely able to contain that. SMU saying that ball was out of bounds in relation to the antenna, but no call. Coe in the middle, tipped over the top. Kaufman, good read. Fretzinger reaches back for it. Ooh, through the hands of Vandergrift, but the ball's still alive. Deep cross court, out of bounds, no touch. Wow, a lung-busting rally. Score 14 serving 9 in favor of the Mustangs. Jenna McNelly, the middle blocker. Back one run to Coe, set a little bit inside. Tipped over, kept up by Mitchell. Now Fritzinger down the line. That ball is run down. Nice chase. Oh, with the third contact, can't quite be sent over the net inside the antennas. Another point for the Mustangs on their serve. Ooh, setter dump attempt. Somehow kept alive. That was almost a miraculous dig. Dynasty Co. will get credit for the kill on the overpass swing. As libero Hannah Vandergrift comes back to serve. Good time to point out that in the NCVF, liberos can serve both the men's and the women's divisions. That ball's placed very nicely in bounds. Simone Mitchell, the lefty on the right side, gets the kill before going back to the bench. And now this is the initial or the original end of the 6-2 for SMU. Anastasia Kuvshinova, number 21 in blue, into set. Now Reynolds will play the opposite position, be a primary attacker. That serves short, just over the tape, somehow kept alive. Excellent swing off the outside of the block. Audrey Bomber bails her team out of a tricky situation. Nice bump set there by TCU setter Jessie Huddleston. Emily Sugg, number 6, back into play the front court for Ella Drucker on the TCU side. This is the rotation where TCU started the match and got off to a pretty nice start. And sure enough, they're putting SMU under pressure in rotation 1, and Reynolds makes the error into the antenna. Out of system swing coming from Reynolds again. 2 blockers up. The defense is there. Good play by Brumley off the deflection. Kaufman underneath it. Fritzinger through the block somehow down on the TCU side. SMU able to get out of that rotation to beat the double block. Interesting there, you see that after the ball went back over to the TCU side, SMU was able to scramble and put their attackers on their original sides in the wing. So you can see in the middle of the point there, Reynolds and Fritzinger switching positions. Nice dig. Sent over deep by Reynolds. Now Sugg into the block, covered briefly but not for long. Aviana Gordon, number 10 in the middle, will get credit for that one. (18-12) Mustangs. Ooh, attempted to send it to the middle, able to be kept alive as a free ball, but now advantage SMU. Reynolds, nice high flat shot off the block down the line. Really smart. Sophia Reynolds, super skilled. I mean, it's hard enough to actively play 2 different positions over the course of one match, and just the way that SMU runs their rotation patterns. And she sees 2 blockers well formed in front of her there, intentionally hits that ball high off the hands, as she might have another chance. No, this time it's Boswell on the left. Nicely deep swing as well, off the fingertips and off the defense. CC Boswell not to be denied. SMU coming out firing in set number 1 of this national championship match in their effort to write the next chapter of a redemption story, and that's an ace serve. Float serve shanked by Brumley. Perfect pass that time. To the middle again. That's an excellent run. KK McNew. Can't run first ball side out offense a whole lot better than that. TCU now has work to do from their serve as Ryan Holly comes back into the front court to play the outside hitter spot. 13 serving 21 for Balmer. Wow, Boswell tattoos that one down the line. Fantastic setting from Kushinova to push that ball out there. Boswell's eyes lit up when she saw the separation between the block and the antenna. Now Kaufman. Ooh, the double quick offense run, and well read by McNelly. Jenna McNelly everywhere in the blocking game right now. Stuff the front middle attack one-on-one. Now 23-13. Emphatic set one performance by the SMU Mustangs. TCU calls their second and final timeout. You might as well. You don't get to take it with you into the next set. This looks very much like SMU will take this first set and be one set away from a national title in their second attempt in as many years. Great to be back here in Phoenix. Chase Field in the city of Phoenix and the Phoenix Convention Center a couple blocks away, the site of the 2022 NCVF National Championships, the first proper tournament the Federation was able to produce post-pandemic, so good memories of that reunion feeling, being together for the first time in 3 years back in 2022. Holly slowed down and picked up nicely by the defense. Boswell gets her feet to the inside and is able to take a swing and score cross court to bring up set point. All smiles on the SMU side right now, and why not? (24-13). Maddie Kaufman, the Mustang libero, with the honors serving. McNew in the middle, through the block and down in front of a diving Kushinova. TCU trying to build a little bit of momentum before they go into set number 2. KK McNew, the middle blocker, to serve, try and keep the set alive. Reynolds, the lefty for the set, into the block of Holly, gets her own rebound. Boswell sends it over as a free ball. Holly now with the legitimate swing, covered and inbounds. Nice reaction there by Sugg. Reynolds for the set, this time able to beat the block cross court. Defense can't handle it, and SMU. The Mustangs take an emphatic set number 1 victory. 25-14 over their crosstown rival TCU Horned Frogs. All right, welcome ladies and gentlemen inside Chase Field. My name is Rob St. Clair. So happy to be here in Phoenix for the 2025 NCVF National Championships. Fantastic match here. The storylines of it being a crosstown rivalry all the way here for a national championship game is incredible, and it's going to be a theme for the day. This is our first of 4 national championship matches broadcast here on YouTube from Chase Field. Coming up next will be the men's Division II national championship match for the 4th year in a row. The University of Wisconsin Lacrosse Eagles and University of Wisconsin Eau Claire Blue Golds will play for a national championship. The same 2 teams for the 4th year in a row playing for a title is insane. Can't wait for that one, followed by Women's Division I and Men's Division I right after that. You were in the right place. We appreciate all your support watching on YouTube and on Baller TV all weekend long. This event, the NCVF National Championships, is just so special for so many reasons. One reason is that is its magnitude. It breaks its own record for the largest collegiate sporting event in the world every year. This event gets bigger and bigger, adds teams, adds divisions, adds drama, adds energy. And the culmination of it here in this incredible setting is going to be really special tonight. So the crowd's just kind of getting going. There's still plenty of volleyball being played over at the Convention Center a couple blocks away right now. But in a couple hours, the lower bowl at Chase Field here will be filled to the brim. Really looking forward to that, and this is a perfect match to get us underway. See if TCU's got some answers here. Got off to a pretty nice start in that first set and just really struggled to generate break points. First of all, SMU pretty comfortable in their first ball side out game. And just got to play super clean volleyball at this level and on this stage to hopefully win a national championship. We'll see if TCU has some answers and can potentially get us to a third set. Let's get back to the action. Lineups are in for both teams, and it's a substitution on the TCU side, or a change from set one. Number 8, Riley Murphy, into the match at the outside hitter spot. I don't see any changes otherwise. We'll see what the substitution patterns are going to be for these two teams. Anastasia Kuvshinova, the SMU setter, gets us underway in blue, serving on the far side. Tipped in the middle, thrown back. This will be an SMU free ball, trying to get on the board first. Fritzinger through the block, kept alive on the short ball. Now Sugg on the right side is dug by Kaufman. Fritzinger again, tipped deep. Excellent read by Murphy. Bomber tipped over the top. Kuvshinova is there. Reynolds tries to terminate, but Huddleston is underneath it. Ooh, and I think a double contact going to be called. Yes, ball handling error there. Ball came out a little spinny at the hands of Kuvshinova. TCU starts off set number 2 with the first point on the scoreboard. We do still call double contacts in the NCVF. I know it's been a big topic of conversation in the volleyball world post-pandemic, in the last couple of years in particular. Excellent diving play there. That's Nellie Brumley, who changed jerseys mid-sets. The tip able to score for SMU, but yeah, that's another change that I didn't initially notice for TCU. Nellie Brumley, number 4, has switched jerseys and now is playing the starting libero position. McNew, ooh, a net violation on somebody. It's against TCU. Tried to bait the Mustangs into the net with the tip there out of the middle. But SMU takes the lead 2-1. Fritzinger doing a great job serving. The Mustangs have strung together a bunch of points in her rotations. Gordon there ready for the back quick. Kaufman underneath that tip attempt. Great look here now for Boswell. Cross court, beautiful play by Brumley. Fantastic defense. First swing of the match for Murphy is kept alive. Now Reynolds, does she look for the line? No, what a dig by Bomber. Beautiful swing, excellent defense. And Riley Murphy, fresh off the bench, terminates for the Horned Frogs. That sort of play can spark a team. KK McNew serving short. Kaufman is there. Boswell with the two-hand send over comes up short. That ball not touched by the block. You pick a violation. 2 contacts, 4 contacts, whatever you want to call. TCU takes the lead. McNew comes up short to tie us up at 3. I want to thank everyone for watching live on the NCVF YouTube channel. The second year we've been able to do this extra high quality production for our championship games. We really appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and let me know in the live chat who you're rooting for and where you're watching from. TCU scrambling now. That is going to be called a net violation. Looks like Huddleston touched the bottom of the net as she tried to track that ball down. Well, center line violation, the announcement here in the house. That's also quite possible. Nice set to the middle to Ko, but the block is there again for SMU. Murphy tipped over. Kuvshinova is there, puts it right on the plate though for Ko. Takes care of business. Dynasty Ko, number 3 in black, commanding the net throughout that rally. Now a substitution for the Horned Frogs as Ella Drucker comes in once again for Sugg. Sort of a right side defensive specialist sort of substitution. Kuvshinova to the middle. That ball set a little too high for McNally. Ko sends it back. Now Boswell with no block up. Fantastic set by Kuvshinova. to get two hands on that ball before it got to the net. TCU block not expecting that. And Boswell, as you see here on the instant replay. Murphy slowed down by a block touch. Good defensive positioning for. Oh, okay. Boswell again. It's a good dig by Fritzinger, as I was going to say. CC Boswell playing fantastic volleyball on the left side right now. And now another different sort of substitution pattern. It's Emma Islava, number 11, the new opposite in this set for SMU, at least when Reynolds is setting. Another good slow down block touch. Boswell to terminate, tipped over. Good read by Huddleston. First look at Islava into the block, gets the rebound. Murphy tipped over and McNally is there. Boswell again, that is straight over the top of the block. Look at that physicality. So Emma Islava, the new SMU opposite, making a change at that spot even after winning the first set so convincingly. Tough pass here. Ball clipped the tape, TCU couldn't recover. Now 8-4 Mustangs. This is the fourth match of the day for both of these teams. All of the 16-team single elimination gold bracket played on Saturday. These two teams had to battle hard to get here. Excellent block by Ko. TCU needed that. Islava is shut down. Now Hannah Vandergriff, who's also changed jerseys. She started the match at libero. Now matching her teammates in black in as a defensive specialist. Islava tipped and Vandergriff is easily underneath it. Ko to capitalize, and she does. Good setting there by Huddleston. This now becomes sort of de facto rotation one for SMU. Islava, the new opposite at number 11, attacking on the left side for the Mustangs. She'll take an out-of-system swing here against two blockers, and it just goes out of bounds by a couple of tiles. TCU back within one. Vandergriff again to keep the run going. That ball is just out of bounds, barely. TCU thought that might have clipped the baseline. And now another interesting. Okay, CC Boswell taken off the floor this time. Natalie Bianchi, number 18 in blue, gets her first action of the national championship game for the Mustangs. Decent pass by Drucker. Bomber, smart shot. Smartly targets the outside of the right side blocker's hand. Very smart swing there. You don't have to be afraid of the block at this level. You can use it to your advantage. Fritzinger kept alive deep cross court. TCU for the tie. And the coverage not quite underneath it. Excellent block by TCU. I think Emma Islava will get credit for that one. McNally there as well. Can't say enough about the job that the SMU blockers are doing right now. Bomber again, high flat swing off the fingertips. Bianchi, the new defensive specialist, is underneath it. Vandergriff feeds it to the outside to Bomber out of system. Good dig by McNally, the middle blocker, but just out of bounds on the TCU side. Emily Sugg back into the match at the opposite position for the Horned Frogs. Ooh, good float serve there. Bianchi barely able to get underneath it. Now the Horned Frogs will get a free ball. Great chance for the tie here. Double quick. Sugg comes up short. Just a missed connection. And a missed opportunity there for TCU on a free ball chance. Now Mia Arriaga, number 24 in blue, the backup opposite, comes in to serve. Interesting, another new substitution pattern for SMU, even after winning the first set by such a margin. Reynolds now in the front court fills the setter position. Bianchi able to track that down, but can't bring it back where her teammates can send it over. Okay, now a couple substitutions coming in now. So Kuvshinova comes back in to set for SMU, so that was just sort of a serving substitution. And now Riley Murphy back in at outside hitter for TCU, in for Vandergriff. Balmer working on Reynolds, really good pass. Ooh, and another double contact. No, excuse me, not a double contact, a center line. Kuvshinova couldn't quite keep her feet on her own side of the net there when she went to go get that ball, and we are tied up at 11. Balmer working on Reynolds again. She'll take a swing against two blockers and gets the favorable deflection off the hands of McNew, and SMU retakes the lead. And now Boswell's going to come back in to play the front court for the Mustangs. Fritzinger back to serve. SMU's been really productive in this service rotation. Sugg through a double block. Able to overpower it and find the floor there. We're once again tied up at 12. Reynolds tight set, able to keep the ball in play. Chance here for TCU, a swing for the lead for Murphy. Blocked, covered, and somehow sent over. Great scramble. Ooh, mistake there for Boswell. Gives it right back to him. Now Coe can take a swing in the middle. Good stab. Kaufman there chases it down. Another TCU free ball chance. Coe in the middle again, this time inside the block. Across her body to the position one sideline. TCU offense looking substantially better in this second set. Reynolds, wow, look at that lucky deflection. Off the TCU block, straight up in the air and right in the window of Aviana Gordon. In the middle for SMU, who takes care of it easily. Sugg a little out of system. SMU with a chance for the lead. Wow, amazing cover by Kuvshinova. TCU wants a lift called, they don't get it. And now SMU with a free ball chance. Reynolds, that ball is out of bounds, off the tape and out of bounds. Did not touch the blocker. TCU does take the lead back after all. Drucker comes back in to play defense and serve for Sugg on the Horned Frog side. And that ball served out of bounds. So now Reynolds back to serve. She becomes the setter. Slava back into the front court at opposite. She'll be the primary attacker on the right side. Pretty good pass there by Drucker. Coe in the middle again, been largely unstoppable this set. Huddleston just had more chances to feed her the ball. TCU leads narrowly by one. Really good back and forth battle here in the second set. Vandergriff off the bench to serve and play some defense. Fantastic set by Reynolds, but even better defense. TCU with a chance now. They run the slide in transition, and Coe misses it just out of bounds wide. Pretty good look. First time we've really seen that play from either team, to send the middle behind the setter quick to the pin like that. And Nellie Brumley a little upset that her defensive effort didn't get rewarded. We're tied up at 15 as Bianchi comes back in for SMU to serve. Lots of substitutions being used by both teams. You get 12 per team per set. Not a good pass there. Balmer slowed down by the block. SMU with a chance to take the lead. Fritzinger dug easily. Balmer high flat off the hands. Reynolds is underneath it. Fritzinger again, chopped down the line and no luck. Misses the sideline wide and TCU retakes the lead. Brumley, the TCU libero, starting this set anyway. Makes a defensive play on her own service run. McNew in the middle. That ball slowed down and dug. Now a free ball chance for the Horned Frogs. Bomber off the tape cross court. Excellent reaction by Fritzinger. She transitions hard, gets herself a swing and a rebound. Ooh, Eslava wasn't quite ready for that one. Brumley charges it. Bomber takes a swing and Bianchi is there, but into the bottom of the net and couldn't be scooped out. TCU leads by 2. I believe their largest lead since starting the very beginning of the matchup, 3-0. And now a little bit of a momentum swing. I can hear a bit of a TCU crowd coming into play now, just in front of or above the first baseline dugout here in Chase Field. Getting interesting now. TCU not going down without a fight by any means. Can SMU get this side out of the timeout here? Eslava, not yet. The TCU defense tracks it down. Where does Reynolds go now? Fritzinger on the left side. Dug by Bomber inside the block. A great chance now for TCU to go up by 3, and they do. Audrey Bomber hammers off the block and goes out of bounds. The Horned Frogs lead 18-15. SMU has made substantial lineup changes after winning a set by 10 points. And now their offense struggling a little bit. And another misconnection. Excellent charge by Brumley to get underneath it. And that ball was touched by the block, definitely. We play on. Drucker sends it over, but just out of bounds wide. SMU very much still within striking distance. Jenna McNally, who's played a fantastic match. Back to serve from the middle blocker spot. Looks like Drucker may have lost her footing there a little bit on the set. That ball definitely not touched by the block. 4 touches called and SMU's within 1. Moves and counter moves. The balance and the movement back and forth of momentum in the sport of volleyball is what makes it so entertaining. McNally again. Vandergriff underneath it. McNew through the block. Excellent stab by Fritzinger. And Gordon the one who sends it over. Bomber again. Beautiful cross-court swing. Audrey Bomber really taking some command. Some huge swings from the left side in and out of system for TCU in this set. And the Horned Frog crowd is definitely more of a factor now than they were in the first. Jesse Huddleston, the Horned Frog setter, back at the baseline. Sugg back into the match off the bench. Pretty good pass by Bianchi. Eslava slowed down by a block touch. Bomber again, off the block and into the antenna. That's a TCU point. Wow, SMU in this set has just no answers for number 15 in black. Audrey Bomber playing with a ton of confidence. Huddleston again. 3-point Horned Frog lead. Fritzinger. Slowed down. That ball not quite able to be kept alive. Man, these blockers on both of these teams are getting a lot of high-quality slow-down block touches. Defense for TCU not quite able to get a swing out of it. Kuvshinova back into the match to serve. So Reynolds becomes the opposite for the Mustangs. 2-point trail. Not a great pass by Vandergriff. Pretty good rescue by Huddleston, and the block coverage play is made. Sugg through the block and gets a good deflection. Wow, pretty crazy sequence there for TCU. It's like they barely reacted in time to keep the ball up off the floor in block coverage, and it paid off. Now Balmer back to serve. Not a great pass by Reynolds. She does well to keep the ball in play. Free ball chance for TCU. What a dig. Amazing by Kuvshinova. And Reynolds inbounds plus a net violation. That is remarkable. That was basically an open net look. KK McNew tagged that ball right on the Mustang logo near Kuvshinova's left shoulder. The ball popped up into almost a hittable position. If SMU makes a comeback here, remember that play. Ooh, ace serve. Jade Fritzinger, been probably the most productive server for the Mustangs, at least in her serving rotations, drops one over the stack of players in front of Balmer. That's a really well-targeted serve. We got a 1-point second set. Goes at Balmer again, this one better handled. Murphy been a difference maker since starting here in set number 2. She's kept alive. Boswell dug as well. Murphy again, tipped over. Boswell makes the read. This has got to go to Reynolds on the right side. And that is through the hands of Balmer. She couldn't quite handle the heat. And we are tied up at 21. Wow, TCU's had a couple late three-point leads. I think 18-15, I think 21-18, but a run here for SMU on Jade Fritzinger's serve. And remember that dig that Kuvshinova made to get them out of that previous rotation. Now they're going to have a swing for the lead. Boswell, pretty good coverage. Kuvshinova diving makes the play. Sugg dug beautifully down the line by Kaufman. Reynolds, that ball is not able to be brought back. Reynolds takes a swing cross court, and a diving Huddleston couldn't control it. The SMU Mustangs are 3 points away from a national championship. Look at this again. Excellent swing inside the block. Huddleston diving to her left, couldn't quite get there. Timeout TCU. Drama from Chase Field in the second set of the Women's Division II National Championship match. Coming out of the timeout, the biggest question of them all is, can TCU get Jade Fritzinger off the line? 22-21. McNew through the block and dug. Reynolds, cross court again, able to score. Basically the exact same swing as the previous point. High, hard heat inside the blocker on a line to the position 1 corner, and that is a massive insurance point for the Mustangs. 23-21. Can they complete this set 2 comeback and potentially hoist a national championship trophy? Fritzinger still serving. Ooh, miscommunication there, and the block of Boswell is good. Sugg ran her out to the inside. The set was all the way to the antenna. Nowhere for her to go around the block. Look at Boswell, meet me at the top of the antenna and don't be late. National championship point SMU. Murphy to stay alive through the block, and they score. TCU not done yet. Dynasty Co has controlled the front court. She's back up there in the middle blocker position. KK McNew to keep the match alive. National championship point number 2 for the Mustangs. Good pass by Fritzinger. Reynolds for the title is kept alive, but not for long. A defensive miscommunication off the block touch. And the SMU Mustangs redeem last year's national championship heartbreak, coming up just short. 1 year later here in Phoenix, the Mustangs are on top of the country as national champions. Congratulations to both teams. The SMU Mustangs complete the redemption story, losing on this stage in Kansas City last year. Now in Phoenix, they get it done in the final over their crosstown rivals. Look at the elation on the faces of the SMU Mustangs. So many of these players played in that match last year where they came up just short in 3 sets to St. Thomas. And the comeback is complete and the celebration is on. Congratulations to SMU. Outstanding season tournament and performance by TCU. Inspired fight there in the second set in response to the result of the first. A lot to feel good about for the Horned Frogs. But SMU takes the first of our 4 national championship matches here on Chase Field. Here once again is a replay of championship point. Reynolds very well may win MVP of this division of the tournament. TCU made a pretty good move to slow it down on the block. The defense was not underneath it, and the celebration is on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll just about do it for our coverage here of this first national championship match of the evening. Coming up in about 20 minutes, an all-time classic, one of the great storylines in NCVF history for the 4th year in a row. In-state rivals UW La Crosse and UW Eau Claire from Wisconsin will play for the national championship in men's Division II. That match scheduled to start at 6 p.m. local in about 20 minutes. We will sign off for now. Until then, my name is Rob St. Clair. Thanks very much for watching. Great volleyball here in Phoenix on a Saturday night with some national championships on the line. We will see you at the top of the hour.